Hello and welcome to Cookery with Mason Storm. In this video we are going to look at making some honey milk tea. This tea has a good mixture of sweetness and bitterness that I often crave on a cold autumn day. To begin with, we need 10 grams of tea, approximately 4 bags worth. We need 2 tablespoons of honey and 2 cups of milk. Okay, let's get started. So we got our saucepan on the stove, medium heat, and we'll add our milk. We want our milk to heat up really good. We want it to be boiling or near boiling. And we don't want it to be too hot, our stove, that it kind of cooks the milk, and that can be kind of gross. You're probably going to see a little bit of skin on the milk, and that's perfectly normal. It's not a sign of a disaster or anything. Just kind of pretend you don't see it, and all will be okay. There's quite a few different recipes as far as making milk tea goes. A lot of them use less tea but steep it for longer, but I decided that we didn't want to wait half an hour for a cup of tea, so I opted for a little bit more tea in it, going with 10 grams instead of 2 or 3. Now that our milk is heating up to the proper temperature, we can add our tea. Now I'm just using a English breakfast tea, which I find works really good at this recipe. Same with a lot of other black teas, such as Earl Grey or Orange Piku. But you might want to change the recipe a little bit when you're using other teas. It's the same as when you make tea normally. The temperature of the water determines how the tea will steep, and if you want to draw out the proper flavor without having excessive bitterness, using the proper temperature water is important. And in the case of making our milk tea here, the temperature of the milk is also important. So you might want to move over to using a thermometer to get the same steeping temperature as you would with a water-based steeping technique. Of course, from this you'd probably want to do an iterative measure as well. Try it at one time with one temperature and then tweak the time or temperature to get more desired, perfected results. I think I'll try it with sencha or matcha next time. This recipe for tea also works really good for making iced tea. So you simply refrigerate it when it's done and then serve it with ice, and that's really quite delicious. We're hitting our 5-minute mark now, so it's time to give it another quick stir, and then we'll add our honey. Now I like using honey more than white sugar because I think the honey adds a lot more flavor to the milk tea. Also, the combination of milk and honey go good together, such as the land of milk and honey. And there's quite a few combinations of drinks that are made with different ratios of milk and honey that taste phenomenal. So we're going to cook this for 2 minutes, and then we have to strain it. A lot of different ways you can strain your milk tea. I'm going to be using a French press because it works really good for this, and I've done it before and I've had really good results. But you can also use different methods, such as the coffee cup inserts that are used for loose tea. They usually work pretty good. Same with a strainer over top, and you pour through it. You could also even go cowboy style if you want, but I do not really recommend that method, as well, actually it's probably fine. You do you. So now that it's been 2 minutes, we'll pull it off the stove and we'll get ready with our French press. So we'll just pour it all in, then we'll put the top of the French press on, then slowly press the plunger down, separating the tea particles from the milk. Then pour the contents into your heated mug and enjoy. It's quite delicious. Now let me know in the comments how you make your milk tea, as well as if you use honey or sugar. I'm really quite curious. If you like this video, push the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe, and stay awesome.